Replacing the catalytic converter on a B7 Audi A4 is a bit tricky, and it might be a little more involved than initially you might think. Here's the stock catalytic converter, and it was totally clogged. It was so clogged I wasn't getting any boost from the turbo. There wasn't exhaust flowing through it. If you look at the other side, that's what it should look like. In my case, what I had to do to get it out was take out the two transmission mounts, which are right on the bottom side of the engine. There are 2 bolts on each, and then put a jack underneath the transmission and lift it up a bit, which gave me enough room to pull the downpipe off. Here's the 2 transmission mounts that you take out. You just take out the 2 bolts and lift up the transmission with a jack. And on the bottom of the car, I disconnected the downpipe, so in my case, these bolts were super rusted, so I just cut them off right here and right here, disconnected that, and then started wiggling it up. One thing to note is that you don't need to remove the rear O2 sensor. It's really tricky to get to. This is a smaller high flow cat that we just installed, and it's a little more accessible, but on that stock cat, it's much larger and bulky. It'd be really hard to get that off. The wiring harness comes over to the other side right here, and you can just unclip that and feed the wire through. Makes it a lot easier. Now the turbo bolts are gonna be the last thing holding it on, depending on what order you take it off. And there's 4 of them total. There's one right here, down there, and then 2 on the other side. 3 of them are easy to get to, and the 4th one is pretty tricky. To get to that 4th one, this is pretty much the extension combination that I used. I have an impact universal joint here, and then a set of swivel extensions, and I was able to use this to get down in there. And then when I got that over the socket and over the bolt, I got a small compact impact gun on the back here, and I was able to pop it out. Now with the stock cat being much larger, you can see the difference between the high flow cat that we installed. And I got this from ECS Tuning. It was about $250. That was on sale. It was 15% off at the time I purchased it. The original price was $300, and it's stainless steel, so it shouldn't rust. The original Audi one also appears to be stainless. Unbolting those transmission mounts really made it a whole lot easier. That gave you just a little bit of room extra that you needed to get it out. This whole job is pretty tight, and there's a lot of time in just wiggling and trying to get it out. So especially when you're dealing with rusty bolts, that always makes the whole process take longer. So it wasn't an easy job, but once you got the transmission lifted up a little bit and got it wiggled out, that was the hardest part, was getting the old assembly out. Getting the new one in went pretty quick. All right, we've got everything back together. Let's take it for a test drive. And that's what I remember it feeling like. And that's how you can replace the catalytic converter on a B7 Audi A4, and I've been working on a 2006.